Okay, this video is called What's Happening in Ireland. All right, it's been made here. Today is like May 2024. Okay, so basically one of the things they're doing in Ireland is they're having these Rosary Rallies. And a Rosary Rally, I think, is a good idea. It's one of the, religion means religare. Legare means to, like in Latin, to ligate, to tie together. It unifies a people. And when they get together, they can talk to each other and make sense of what's going on. So Rosary Rallies are happening all over Ireland, to help maintain freedom. And I like the name of this new society. It's called Irish Society for Christian Civilization, ISFCC. This is exactly what needs to be done. Everybody always says any other society or group can have its own meetings, its own club, its own organization, its own self-identity, and promote itself. There's like holidays every month for the history of different ethnic groups, but there's none for, Christianity, for Caucasian people. Why not? They deserve, their freedom, their own identity as well. They're only about 7% of the world population. And so what's happening to Ireland, like all Western countries, it's being actively, intentionally destroyed by an open border that's funded by the billionaire perverts because, again, they want to get rid of Christianity. They see it as their only obstacle towards world domination. Anyways, I think the Rosary Rallies are a good thing. Ireland's kind of famous for that. There was a Father Patrick Peyton, like through the 1950s and 60s, who had these massive Rosary Rallies, sometimes with over 1 million people in the audience, in particular when he was in the Philippines. And that helped save the Philippine people from that dictator, I think it was Marcos, because what basically happened is the Philippine guys who worked for him, they were Christians too, and they refused to abuse the citizens. Okay, and I think that's part of why what we're seeing happen here is they're pushing to get more and more foreigners or people who hate traditional USA into positions of power so they can use them against the native population in the USA. And they're doing the same thing in Ireland. But this Rosary Rally is a good thing. This idea of having Irish Society for Christian Civilization, that is a good thing. Because, when somebody is trying to side you, you need to speak up and have the ability to get people together to protest that. Okay, so here's a sign held up by some Irish people. Ireland is full, and that is a true statement. They've been bussing in illegal aliens overnight that are hostile to the native population and giving them preferential treatment. And I'll show you in a moment how they do that. And this is deliberate, you-know-what side of a people. So here, this jerk tried to redefine a family. They want to redefine a family so that way they can get rid of Christian traditional families. Ever since the beginning of recorded history, there's been husbands and wives, all right? That's a pretty basic thing, but they want to get rid of that idea. It's like if you're a farmer and you own cows, you don't have husband and wife cows. The farmer owns the calf. The farmer owns everything, and it just takes the calf and makes it into veal, okay? They want to be able to take your daughter and just do whatever they want with her, okay? You got to remember, if you agree to atheistic Darwinism, which is what all the rulers want, that's what communism wants, then they own you. You are just a farm animal to them. They can do whatever they want. They can decide, okay, we're going to harvest your kidneys. You got a good blood type for us. We have so-and-so in our party who needs kidneys. Sorry, we're going to have to take your kidney. There's nothing you could do to say against that. Okay, they would demand in Ireland, for example, that they could take your phone away and, check what you're doing and see if you're saying anything that's anti-open border in Ireland. And so, of course, persons should have the right to their privacy. That's another reason why I don't like cell phones, because that's what they're used. They're used to track you like an animal. They're used to spy on you. They're a major invasion of privacy. They don't let you take the battery out. That's because they want to track you. Why do you track something? You track something because you want to control it or you want to get rid of it, okay? And here's an example of what they were doing in Ireland. They were making new laws and rules saying that people could get in trouble, for so-called hatred, xenophobia, and that it's criminal law. Racism is criminal. Xenophobia is criminal. And then they define who's a protected group. So you see how this game works? The communists that take over a place, they define protected group as anybody who hates the native population. And then they define the native population as a suspect population with the big T word, the one that rhymes with error, okay? And then they will say, if you criticize one of the protected groups, protected based on their race, their color, their nationality, their religion, then you have just spoken hate speech, and therefore you could be prosecuted for that or put in prison. And eventually they're going to send them to, I would predict, to prison camps, and eventually just bump them off. Okay, remember, their goal is genocide of populations, to diminish populations. So look at this jerk. And they booted him, but that's only one small victory. They needed to go a lot farther than that to take over the government in Ireland, in terms of having, they need to get elected Christians who want to protect Christianity. So it's not going to be eradicated from Ireland, and they're doing the same thing in all the Western countries. And you ask yourself, oh, how do I know? Because all the stupid people say, how do you know that? Because it doesn't happen anywhere else. Japan doesn't let it happen because they want Japan to stay Japan for Japanese, okay? It's not happening in other countries, sometimes because nobody wants to go there, okay? There's a lot of other countries. Why is it everybody always wants to go to the countries that are run by white Christian men, okay? Because they were the best countries. I know lots of really smart doctors from India. Why do they come to America? Because it used to be a great country, okay? I've never met a white doctor who wanted to go to India, okay? Because Christianity made it a good place, okay? But it's not what it used to be anymore. The old America we grew up in, back in the 1970s and 80s, that doesn't exist anymore. But it's pretty much the same thing, Other countries that have continued to have their identity, they don't allow open borders and massive immigration to destabilize their country. This massive immigration with an open border is done to destabilize the country so it can be easily conquered, easily collapsed. And sadly, America is crashing fast, and Ireland's crashing fast. It's such a small population, it's very easy to overwhelm Ireland. So I'm glad to hear it's standing up for itself. Hopefully that'll be a big step in the right direction. We'll see.